All right.
They are off. Pretty straightforward. Just skip this cutscene with Bowser here, and then you go through Cap Kingdom, where we meet our companion for Cappy, who finds Mario just laying down dead here because he got punched off Bowser's ship. He revives him, and then he takes over Mario's torn up hat, and we get to use him as basically the gimmick of this game.
Sup, chat? In case anyone missed it before when we were switching channels, this is the Super Mario Odyssey NFL tournament. One of the group stage races. I'm Jockamass. Now I'm joined by Oddme.
Hello. Racers are FireDragon and Samura1man, both pretty good runners of the game. Samu is very, very good at this game. He has held world record in various categories before, including any percent, so. Right here, you'll see that they're going to be rolling a lot. This is the fastest way of moving along on the ground, because combining it with motion controls means you can arc on your roll, which gives you a lot of speed. Topper, the first of the 4 Brutals, and Fi just beat him as well. All 4 of these Brutals are very easy to beat because they all have certain strats that just make them a lot faster than the intended way. Like for Topper, you can jump on his hat while he's about to spin, so you just skip his cycle. You have to find him out of the many hats in the circle. Both runners are going to be entering Cascade Kingdom, which is the first real kingdom of the game. Control this chain chomp here and burst open this rock to get our first power moon. Are basically the stars or shine sprites, whatever you want to call them, of this game. As you can see in the top left corner, there is a certain counter with empty circles in it. You have to get the amount of moons that fills up the row there. And once you fill up all of them, you can move on to the next kingdom. Specific number of moons that you really need to get. It's 124, but it seems like an odd number because that's just the amount of moons you need to get to the next kingdom.
Yeah, it's the total of all kingdoms.
Runners are going to be going for T-Rex skip here, which is a big jump most of Cascade to get to the boss fight. Samu gets it first try. See how Fi does. But gets it first try. Very nice. It's Madam Brood. Pretty simple. You just have to take control for Chain Chomp and then wind it up and throw it back at her. Good fight by Samu. Fi struggling a bit with getting the Chain Chomp. A strat when Madam Brood throws her Chain Chomp makes it spin. If you can land on the Chain Chomp's head, cycle, and it saves a couple seconds each time you do it.
problems. That Dino Skip can hold players here in Cascade for a while. Has happened in a lot of races.
Cascade and Cap Kingdom are very reset heavy, just because you don't want to start out your run being like, and you see after the boss fight, they still had one moon left, so they're going to get that one up on the cliff that Samu just got. They're going to turn in their moons to this airship called the Odyssey, which will power it up, allowing them to go to the next kingdom.
So the next kingdom is Sand Kingdom. This is the kingdom you'll see most diversity in. Has many routes and many moons you can collect.
Yeah, Sand Kingdom has gone through a lot of different route changes over the course of this game as a speed game. Jock said there will be probably some diversity because there is a really advanced route that utilizes a trick called Sphinx Clip, which allows you to go behind and clip out of bounds, allowing you to get into his room without answering his question. It takes about 7 seconds, I think.
Yeah.
We're rolling into the town here. Probably.
Samura1man. Yeah, getting the bird early.
Bird early, yeah, he did. That bird that you just saw Sammy get, based on a cycle, so if you don't get it early, then you can wait for it at the Oasis and get it there. But that depends on the route you do. The Oasis do Sphinx in their route.
Yeah.
Going into the ruins, which is basically the bulk of Sand Kingdom. Or moons. Struggling a bit to get up on top of the pillar. Can screw you over a bit sometimes. You get used to it though. Samu going into this little alcove to get this moon here. In sync, wow. Tight race. Samu is going to be doing a strat here to try and keep this bullet bill alive because he needs it to get another moon later on. Seems like he did indeed keep it alive, which is good. Bullet bill can run into something and explode and it loses you a couple seconds if it Wi-Fi opting to just kill it right away, seems. About it.
Yeah, FireDragon has to wait for another bullet bill there. See, Samura1man is going for the clip. Doesn't look like.
Doesn't look like Samu's going for the clip. And Sphinx also determines another route later on. Depending on how many coins you have, you can either go to Seaside Kingdom or Snow Kingdom first. Because there's a moon in Snow Kingdom that you actually buy using 100 coins. So if they don't have 100 coins, they go to Seaside first because there's a moon there that gets you about 40 coins. So it's very useful. going to do a trick that allows him to get up on top of the Jaxi ruins early using this bullet bill, but so see if he gets it. Yeah, if you mistime a jump or a wall kick at all on that, then you will fall into the poison and lose 10 coins. Again. Now Fi is going for it. Well, very nice.
Yeah.
Nice to see neither of them, because it's very unfortunate to see anyone do it.
Yeah, Duff can waste a lot of time.
Because if you don't grab the checkpoint before that moon, then you respawn, I think, at the very start of, unless you grab the Sphinx, so you do lose a lot of time unless you grab that checkpoint. Back to the Odyssey to go move on to the next kingdom.
Don't you warp back to the Odyssey if you don't take the checkpoint or do the things?
The Sphinx, then you warp back to the Odyssey because you replace the notes with the Sphinx.
I meant if you take it off.
Oh yeah, if you die, then if you didn't grab any checkpoints, you'll go back to the Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
Cashing in his moons, about to go to the next kingdom. One of the shorter ones, only requires 8 moons to move on.
Yeah, and one of those is a grand moon from the boss, which is worth 3 moons.
Yes, we'll note, kingdoms, they will not be getting world peace, which is basically just beating all the bosses and getting their multi-moons, because they are not required to move on to the next kingdom, with the exception of a few. Kingdoms, you just need to get the amount of moons, and then you can just leave. You don't actually have to get the multi-moon.
Fortunate miss there for Samura1man.
Not too tricky, but if you jump a bit too early or dive too early, you will fall back into the water. Doesn't lose too much time if you miss it, though. If doing that jump was actually to hit the little spring flower that sends you up in the air, and you have to glide over to that. Dumb, but people found a very easy way to do it. More captures here, the Zipper and the Cheep Cheep. The Cheep Cheep is the fastest way of moving underwater, because if you Y at the same time, or if you hold Y and press B and vice versa, you will move faster underwater. Boost. When you go for this Cheep Cheep jump here, he does get it. That puts you at the boss area a bunch of stuff. Now, the second brutal fight versus Rango, another very easy one to exploit. You just have to backflip on his hat, and then once the spike comes out, you backflip again and hit his head.
Yeah,
Going
you
for the
basically
jump.
lock him in place there.
He gets to jump. Just making it more entertaining, guys. He meant to do that. Now, once Fi finishes up his fight, they will both be moving on to Wooded Kingdom, a really big kingdom, and most people's favorite in the run, aside from Jock, because he favors one of the worst kingdoms in the game.
Well, my opinion is right. Only a right one.
Wooded Kingdom, very good music, definitely a fan favorite, and it has a lot of moons to collect, good movement. a pretty fun place to just move around in.
Yeah, it's fun if it goes right, which it never does. So, for me at least.
And, people in the chat are asking about their PBs. I believe Samu has a 107.46, and 5.5 people are saying 117.49. Has quite significantly moved, but that shouldn't really stop him because he's on a pretty good run right now. He
Not far behind.
needs to be keeping up with Samu, not letting him get too far ahead. Now Samu is going to get the first shopping moon out of 2 that we get in any percent. In the post game, you can actually buy as many moons as you want, which leads to the goal of the 100% category, which is get 999 moons, because that's the max amount that you can put in your Odyssey. As many as you want from the shop. So if you buy like over and you cash them in at the same time, it leads to some very satisfying moon dumping. Thing about Wooded is that Runner's going to be busting a lot of nuts here, which is everyone's favorite part of Wooded, aside from maybe the music. A good nut every once in a while.
So you went around yesterday. I forgot about asking about that.
Some different movement for that. You can triple jump up to the wall behind you after that cage that Samu opened, and you can go above where the Fire Bro is. I'm not sure how much faster that is than taking the uproot, but it does skip the animation of you capturing the uproot, and probably does save some time, but not much though. The flooded pipeway, not a lot of runners' favorite area in Wooded. She likes this area, but there you can actually damage boost through the fuzzies, but it does cost you some time because if you take damage in this game and grab a moon, it's 2 seconds because you have to watch the moon animation as usual, but your health bar also refills, which loses you some time.
Both players opting to do the waterway first rather than warping back and doing it last.
The different route doesn't save or lose much time, but go and hit the checkpoint that Samu's about to hit into the flooded pipeway, and then after that you warp to the checkpoint. Samu's going to kill that piranha plant early so that he doesn't have to worry about it and he can just grab the moon. In the climb into the red maze now. And Samu about to get the first story moon of Wooded. Yes, we'll talk about why they're running on the Japanese version. It's actually 15 seconds faster than English because the text doesn't move faster, but it does have less text and less text boxes. So it saves quite an amount of time. Samu getting a very hard jump there. P-switch skip. Normally what you would do is you would hit that P-switch and a little vine bridge activates for you to walk across. But with a well-timed triple jump, you can just skip that completely. To get to this nut, but picks up for it. Entering the tower here. Go for the climb. We get 2 moons here, and then we finish off with a brutal fight.
What about the triple moon?
It is actually a pretty unique kingdom because it has 2 multi-moons to collect. So they will be getting one of them, but they will leave after that, so they won't be getting the other multi-moon, which is a shame because the boss is very cool to get that fight, or to get that multi-moon. Fi opting to not do the P-switch skip, so it's a pretty tough jump. Spewer is probably the easiest out of the 4 Brutals. You just knock his head off, jump on him, wait for him to start spinning in his hat, and then you jump on it again. Rinse and repeat. Fi entering the tower, starting his climb, and Samu finishing up with Wooded. Now, after Wooded, on the Kingdom Select screen on the map, it will say that we can go to Metro Kingdom next, but we will have an unexpected visitor once we select Metro.
Yep, and it's the first Bowser fight.
Gosh. Yeah, it's a Bowser fight. It's a pretty simple one in the Cloud Kingdom. Also known as the Nimbus Arena. Pretty interesting name.
And just like all the other bosses, you can skip cycles.
Yeah, and there also is a pretty interesting strat where you go super close to Bowser's hats that he throws at you. You can grab the hat as soon as he throws it, and then start punching him. And it goes for that. I say punching because the entire gimmick of this Bowser fight, his hat is filled with boxing gloves that you just punch him with. Hit by Samu there. Fi done with Wooded, and he's going to be moving on to Bowser as well. Looks like Samu will be going for the strat. Very nice. A third hit, he does have to damage boost because Bowser throws the hats twice, and it's a bit unpredictable. Hit. If you grab the hat too late, or if you just miss time where you throw the hat, it will go back to Bowser, and he will jump to another platform. You'll have to grab it again.
Probably won't see the same strat from FireDragon. It's a very advanced strat most top runners go for, from what I have seen.
Now, Samu starting the Lost Kingdom, and the reason we're here is because in that cutscene that you saw Samu skip, Bowser shoots Mario off and wrecks the Odyssey, so they need 10 moons to repair the Odyssey again to move on to Metro Kingdom. Very, very difficult kingdom if you're going for certain strats. Like the strat that Samu did at the start there that he messed up. You have to jump on that tree and get a triple jump off of it. Skip a Klepto trigger, which is the bird that you're going to see very soon. We skip it is because if you enter that Klepto trigger, he will take Cappy, and you will have to retrieve him, which wastes a lot of time.
And you saw from FireDragon here, he threw Cappy at the hat instead, captured it and held the button, and then released it to get the hat back in front of Bowser. It's a lot safer way to get those fast cycles.
See, Samu just walked up to Klepto to scare him off, because if you don't do that, then he will still take Cappy, because when you do that, Klepto assumes that he has Cappy, so he'll fly away from you as if he had Cappy. Gets rid of the trigger altogether. As you just saw, Samu different strat than what most people do for that block breaking moon. Normally, people would take damage there because if Guardian that takes Cappy, if he explodes on you, he will also break the rocks. Do that without taking damage. So, gets that tree triple jump pretty fast, which is good. Intentional death because he tried to save it by doing a deathless strat, but if you do die there, it doesn't lose time at all because it just warps you back to the Odyssey. Which is what most people actually do. They take an intentional death.
Yeah, saving yourself saves very little time, so most people opt for the death.
Samu moving on to Nighttime Metro, one of the most annoying parts of the run, in most runners' opinions. Because very hard movement and a very stupid boss fight at the end of it. Samu seems to be having a pretty good start, though. Now, coming up is a somewhat difficult jump, but these runners shouldn't have much of a problem with it. You basically have to jump off of that awning, and then if in a wall kick, get back up on that roof, and it skips going through the entire city, which saves about, like, 30 seconds. Just doing some roof jumps to go over here to the helipad, and then the hall, which is the hardest part of Nighttime Metro, in my opinion at least. Movement. Different strats you can do here, like as you can see, Samu's going on the right side elevators and then doing this. There is an early cycle you can make by going to the left, however, jump off the question block at the start there. You can actually skip that first elevator ride that Samu did. Oh, takes a bonk there.
Yeah.
Doesn't lose as much time as other bonks in City Hall because he didn't fall that far down, so he got up pretty quickly. During Nighttime Metro as well. So still keeping pace on Samu here, not falling too far behind. Or keeping up with him.
Yeah, get the jump there as well. Can be a bit tricky.
Into the Mechalegor fight, which is not anybody's favorite fight in the world.
When I get a 2-cycle on this boss, which can be a bit hard, depending on where he appears on the walls.
Going for the 2-cycle here. Oh. I'll be going for the 2-cycle on Mechalegor. Basically what that means is, the Mechalegor comes out of these walls, he's going to summon these fireballs or whatever. Then you have to hit him before he goes back into the walls, and if you miss the 2-cycle, it loses about 20 seconds, so very unfortunate if you do miss it.
Yeah.
By Samu.
Got a very good pattern there.
In City Hall. Out though. Now Samu's grabbing the multi-moon, which will put him in Daytime Metro. For some reason, defeating giant robot worms clears rainy weather. To the fight as well. Hopefully he'll get the 2-cycle. Is basically the big part of Metro. You just have to run around the city and get a ton of moons. a total of 20, but 15 in daytime Metro because they got the first 5 in nighttime.
Yeah.
Not opting to go for the scooter clip. You'll see he's doing this RC car moon. There is a trick where you can take scooter moped thing and clip into the cage where he just got that moon from. It saves about 3 or 6 seconds, I'm not sure. It does save time if you're at the RC car though.
Or you gotta get it first try, right?
Struggling a bit with Mechalegor. Doesn't look like he's gonna get the 2 cycle, unfortunately.
I don't know, I was looking at to the right there, I don't know what happened there.
Now, after Samu gets this moon, he's going to warp back up to the rooftop to get some more moons. Way down to get some more. Fi.
Okay. I'm not sure what's going on. I think he's moving a bit too much.
Samu climbing up to the top of the building to get this moon, and then he's going to jump all the way down to that pool, and then go into the cafe to get yet another one.
Mm-hmm.
Fi finishing up Mechalegor. Unfortunately, he struggled a bit, but he can definitely make up the time here. So after getting those moons, is going to enter this area where he's going to run over all these pedestrians who did absolutely nothing just to get a moon. Their way over to work, and they see a midget plumber just rolling through them. Bars here, get this moon. He's going to talk to Pauline, pretty in the Mario series, making her first appearance in a main Mario game as the mayor of New Donk City.
Yep.
There's a drummer right behind Pauline. She forces you to talk to all of them and recruit them for the band. C-car now. And Samu is coming up on the biggest meme in Mario Odyssey. Shoutouts to I Ate Your Pie.
Oh.
Only grabbing the RC car dude.
Yeah, a bit too close on throwing the cap there.
One's favorite. That was the last moon of Metro, and now Samu is probably going to Seaside first, because it doesn't look like he has enough coins for Snow.
Nope.
Oh, for a quick second, he only had 70, so he will definitely be going to Seaside.
Yeah.
Fi warping up to the rooftop to get his few moons almost done with Metro. Didn't accidentally select Snow Kingdom. If you mash A too fast there, you will go to Snow on accident. Bad for your coins, because you'll have to do some rerouting. Oh, Fi. Depth perception there. Hit up pretty easily though.
Oh,
Oh, and then he falls down.
Yeah. Samura1man
Seaside.
is up that wall there. It's a lot harder than it looks.
There we go. Now Fi is up on the roof. The moon inside the ground. Seaside is pretty simple. Not much to talk about during it because it's mostly an underwater kingdom. At the start of this game's life, we routed Seaside so that underwater stuff, like we went shopping, so we needed a lot more coins than we do now. 350 coins or so total. Did some stuff with the story moons and getting Captain Toad, but we just skip all that and go underwater for most of Seaside. Now Fi is about to run over his little group of people to get his moons. Samu taking control of the Gushin here, a very fast creature used for, whereas the Cheep Cheep is used for underwater. Treasure chest. Now, coming up, this is a moon that I don't want you guys to tell anybody about because it's very secret. Shortcut. Okay, guys, it's a shortcut. Don't tell anybody. He's getting the moon under the danger ceiling, and he's going to get the one right under Dory.
Oh, be careful.
Missing a bit with Dory there.
That Dory can push you to the surface. I don't know how, but that's happened to me twice.
That moon, for some reason, you need to summon the enemies before the moon actually becomes able to show up, but this game is weird.
Yeah.
Now, Samu finishing up Seaside, going into Snow Kingdom, and for Fi, Otep. Entering Seaside now. Well, he's about to enter Seaside. And Samu going into Snow. Snow is another pretty short kingdom. It's about 5 minutes long, where you also get 10 moons, just like in Seaside, but the reason it is longer than Seaside is because we get 2 story moons, so those cutscenes do take a while.
Exactly. Don't have many moons to choose from, so don't really have a choice.
No. Before you bring peace to it by doing the Bound Bowl minigame, it starts off in a huge blizzard, as you can see right now. Able to actually get Captain Toad in this blizzard, even though he's a bit hard to find. There's one moon that we can get outside before restoring peace. Samu having some very good movement going up to Captain Toad. Side now, and Samu's about to enter the Shiveria town, which is where we get the rest of our moons. A very interesting thing about Shiveria, where you do the Bound Bowl race early, so you don't have to get the 4 story moons in each of the rooms, even though we still get 2 of them in any percent. We don't actually do the clip to get there in any percent, because getting the multi-moon takes about a minute or 2. Talk to the racer, capture him, talk to the guy who hosts the race, and then do the race itself, which is about 50 seconds to a minute. Because the clip is very cool. It is used in Darker Side, though, and world peace, which are two categories. The bridge there. That bridge can be a bit finicky because it can act as a ceiling sometimes, so it will just shoot you straight down instead of giving you the wall jump that you want.
Yeah. FireDragon struggling a bit with the moon in the cave there.
I'm entering the first of the 3 rooms that we go into. This is probably the hardest one. It's filled with poison and these wind guys, so getting optimal movement here is just very difficult. And you will start at the beginning of the room, so you lose a ton of time. The old route for snow, we actually did go to all 4 of the rooms, and we got 3 out of the 4 story moons because the 4th one is a boss fight against Rango, and it's just very slow, and it's on ice, so nobody wants to do it anyway.
Yeah, I'm super happy we don't do that.
Same with going into the 2nd room. Another icy room, but it's not as bad as the Rango fight. Control the Goombas and their feet don't slip on ice. So very easy to control with the ice physics. Wearing Christmas hats. Merry Christmas. This moon, by stacking up 4 Goombas to open the door, he's going to get another story moon. The final room to get 1 more moon, which we leave after that.
And FireDragon finishing up a very solid seaside.
And one interesting thing about pipes in this game, if you enter them with a ground pound or sometimes a long jump, Sammy didn't get it there, but sometimes he will get it. Like a ground pound or rolling into it. Mario actually enters faster, and the game makes note of that because it makes a faster pipe entering sound. Finishing up Snow Kingdom just as Fi is starting it.
Mm. Oh, about a 5-minute.
Moving on to Jock's favorite kingdom, so I'm just gonna let him talk about everything in this one.
Oh yeah? Thanks. Yeah, some garnishing is coming up.
Basically just filled with food everywhere, which is probably why Jock likes it so much. Also has some good movement, but other than that, it's trash. The run killer to many, so that's why not many people actually like it.
It is so fun to move around in.
People say that about Wooded, and you disagree with them, so...
Or you can bonk him with it. And...
Samu's starting out strong in Luncheon because that jump at the start, you can either do a triple jump, which makes it a lot easier, do a ground pound jump, which Samu went for, which is much harder than the triple jump, but ended up getting it.
Yeah, I prefer doing a triple jump.
Doing a rematch with Spirit here. It's the exact same fight, whereas the other Brutals rematches are somewhat to very different. There's a lot more hats when you fight him in his rematch. So his hats like spin all over the place and he throws 2 at once, but Spirit is the exact same. Still the easiest Brutal fight.
Mm-hmm.
getting the bridge jump first try in snow, which is good. First story moon in luncheon. Brutal fight or any of the story moons because you can end of luncheon before getting those story moons, but the meat that you capture, it's not active, so you can't actually do anything over there. Get the story moons.
Okay, mix it up. Very nice.
That movement there can give you some trouble, depending on what kind of movement you do. Got overlooking a bunch of ingredients for casual players. I remember where to find that one. Of Cappy's homing attack there because he threw Cappy in front of him, but since he shook the controller, the Joy-Cons, or whatever he's using, Cappy went straight down and ended up hitting the box. Throw the golden turnip into the pot, which also gets him another moon, and gets another one by ground pounding this pillar. Are very quick, so despite needing 18 to move on and taking about minutes, it's a very quick split compared to most. Well, when talking about how many moons you need to get.
Yeah. So there are 2 rooms you can do in this kingdom. Samura1man just past Forks room, yeah.
There.
It's going to do the Pudaboo room coming up later.
Those are the lava bubbles, whatever they're called in this game. They control a bit wacky, so if you're not comfortable with them, you can just do the forks, which is much easier. And they're about the same speed, so you don't lose that much time for doing them. Get the hammer bro here, or the frying pan bro, whatever you want to call it. Rocks, as the moon name would say if they were playing on English.
Oh.
No switch. What? Wait, what? He hit the switch and grabbed the hammer bro at the same time. That was interesting. Up snow and entering luncheon, whereas Samu getting his second story moon and bringing up the rest of the kingdom.
Yeah.
Early Podobo cycle there. If you're too slow, the Podobo will go back into his hidey hole, so you'll have to wait for him to come back out to grab him. Very hard early cycle to make it all, though.
Yeah, Larsen is a very cycle-based kingdom compared to all the others.
This room is also very cycle-based.
Yeah.
Worms.
So this is my favorite room. Favorite part of the game. Or the 100% room. And you see why here. Very fun to move around.
The salt pile pretty easily. And now Samu is going to capture a fork here to fling himself up. This last moon here, and then grab the multi-moon inside the big pot. The bird takes him up when he sink again. That's nice. The fight with Spewart. And Samu getting the best capture in the game here, the meat. You just get dropped down in the pot here and you grab the multi-moon. And we leave. why they just hand you a multi-moon there. Like, it's not even a challenge.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess one reason for that would be the bird shoots you off, and you actually have to go back up to the pot and fight the bird to get multi-moon. It comes from him. So I guess that's why it's so easy, but... Samu going to cash in his moons here. And... Okay, the Kingdom Select screen. It will say that he can go to Bowser's Kingdom next, but... Once again, Bowser will shoot us down with Spyro on steroids. And then we will be in Ruin Kingdom.
Yeah, Bowser isn't very nice.
Fortunately, we don't get to see Spyro until the fight, but... because we skipped this cutscene here. Kingdom is just a boss fight, just like Cloud Kingdom is. But you do get a multi-moon from it, aside from Cloud. I mean... Yeah, Dark Souls. Funny. Boss Spyro, and not Dark Souls or Skyrim. Because he's a purple dragon.
Yeah, I like Spyro more, so I appreciate that.
By getting the golden turnip. This boss fight is pretty much an auto-scroller. Strats you can do here, which are damage boosting onto the dragon and waiting for him to turn off his electricity. Wait, and then triple jump up there. Doesn't lose that much time to just wait. Damage boosting.
All
They
about
left this
saving
boss.
the frames.
Yeah, save the frames. Every time someone golds on this segment, it's the hypest thing ever, because ridiculous it is to just gold here on an auto-scroller.
Yeah. So Fi-Fi isn't doing...
Fi-Fi's not doing forks either. Movement so far in Luncheon. It's going to be going up to the... Move getting his third hit on the dragon. And Spyro is dead forever. Back to Skylanders for him.
Oh, ouch.
The multi-moon, and we'll be going over to Bowser's Kingdom, which is probably the hardest kingdom in the run. The movement there is just very hard. And it also has a few boss fights that can kill your run.
Yeah, definitely. Most likely the first guy.
Topper in a rematch, and then you fight Harriet for the first time, but if you're Peace to Sand Kingdom, it would be a rematch because you fight her at the top of the inverted pyramid. So this will be the first time we see Harriet. After those two, we fight the Mecha Brutal, which is the most nerve-wracking boss in the game.
Yeah, it should be.
Fi-Fi entering the lava bubble room now. Go on the Podobo. Need to have very fast movement to get that, so not very surprising that neither of the runners got it. Right, that cycle there. Right, start of Bowser's Kingdom. It's not as difficult as the rest of it, but some chances of dying here. You get to see her the Pokio, which is many people's favorite capture. You're a bird, and you just get to poke your nose into walls and climb up.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is
Sarah
there
did
a
a
recent change in the route?
bit of a rap change. There were two moons found to be faster than what people like to call the glory hole moon with the Pokio. One of them is the moon that Samu just got, where you hold your over the Pokio and you get that moon behind the wall. Port back up to the bird and you just keep on moving. There's also another moon where there are some crates behind the wall in the section right after the brutal fights. So faster than the Pokio moon. And it's also faster than the one behind the wall that Samu got, depending on how fast you do it.
Yeah, I can see that. I think we saw you doing that moon yesterday. As
For
well
that
as
moon.
Anne. Yeah, and Andy too, I think.
Some very different movement can take place here. Samu is opting to go for the Pokio strat roofs and get that moon shard that he just got off with the same moon shard in the order that everybody goes. He is not going to be poking his nose in the hole today.
Unfortunate.
Luncheon, now going to fight Spyro. Incarnation, FireDragon. Samu getting this moon behind the wall, behind the roof. There's tons of moons just behind walls that I have to distinct it. Going to be moving on to the brutal fights, which can either be really easy or really difficult. Seems to be starting out with Topper here because he is probably the harder one, depending on what strats you do. From Samu on Topper, though.
No problems.
I mean, going to be fighting Harriet. Harriet's a pretty easy fight. You have to do is just jump and hit the bombs back at her, like Samu just did. That you can also just wait for the bombs to hit the ground and then angle yourself to hit Harriet. If you do miss the bombs enough, she will throw big purple bombs at you, which you have to hit to spin back at her and hit her in the head. Fights from Samu there.
Can't really expect anything more or less from a runner of his caliber.
Now, Samu is going to be moving on to probably the hardest part of Bowser's Kingdom, the final movement up to the Pokio climb to the Mecha Brutal fight. And Fi is now sending Spyro back to the Shadow Realm and leaving Ruined Kingdom to go over to Bowser's. Spyro remake, just like Crash did. Samu starting the final Pokio climb here. Interesting thing about the Pokio, if you shake the Joy-Cons or the Pro Controller, it will instantly launch the Pokio, and it will make him go higher than if you just stretched his nose. So, very useful for making that climb fast. Strats that you can do on this Mecha Brutal fight here, and I assume both of them will be going for the birdless strat. That looks like Samu's doing it.
Yeah, I would think so.
He's going to bonk on the brutal leg here and hit Spewer, which is always the first one you go for. And then basically the entire concept of this fight is just trying to stay on. Cool. And then once the thing stops moving, you hit the next brutal. And then here, when its legs turn rainbow, you actually cannot hit any of the brutals because the hitboxes are just invincible. He's going to be hitting Rango here. Back on. To finish off Harriet. Trying to hit her. Alright, he got it. If you struggle there and wait, you have to hurry up and hit Harriet because it will launch you off once it flashes enough.
And then you have to get back up.
Fi is starting the second part of Bowser's Kingdom, and Samu finishing up. And Samu's going to be moving on to Moon Kingdom, which is the very last part of the game. Bowser for the final time, and then do a really cool escape sequence. Some pretty good movement here in the moon shards. Earlier, the movement for these moon shards is very different depending on the runner. It's mostly just preference, but faster to do certain movement. Like after you saw Samu did the Pokio strat, Fi went across the wall. We'll be getting the Pokio moon extras, and I guess we should say the reason they're getting these extra moons.
Oh yeah.
Story moons, 3 regular ones, and then the multi-moon. But you actually need 8 to advance to the Moon Kingdom, so they get 2 extras. Alright, Samu now entering Moon Kingdom while wedding Mario, which is probably the most dapper outfit in this game. Just gonna roll his way over to the wedding hall because you don't need to get any moons here. Just need to make your way over to Bowser, beat him up, and then escape. Is a huge skip coming up that obviously both runners will be doing because it saves about 5 minutes. It's called Moon Cave Skip. Here is Samu's going to be jumping off of the Sphinx's head to a certain placement of wall jumps, and if he does it correctly, he should land up on top.
First try, very nice.
Yeah, the skip's not too difficult, but once it was first discovered, which was like the second day the game came out, I wasn't as about it and how it worked, so it was a pretty big run killer up until we found a good setup for it.
Yeah.
Hero pretty much started out the whole routing stuff for this game. Time for like a day 1 run, which is like a 134, I think.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
There anymore, but he did pretty much just be in a great way. It's a speed game. Samu's on 108 pace, I think, or 107 pace, which is a very good run for a tourney race. It is 105.35 by Netios, if anyone's wondering. Very good runner. Saw 5-5 was struggling a bit with the Harriet fight there, but did much better on Topper than he usually does, so all around from both runners. Alright, Samu gets a perfect Bowser fight for the strat that he did in Cloud Kingdom, which is very risky, especially if you're at the end of a run and on PB pace. And you miss it, and you're on a tight PB run, then... Because every time you mess it up, I think you lose about 2 seconds. If Bowser... then you lose about 5 because he jumps away. Samu entering the escape of Bowser himself.
Oh, not fall. Oh, I did. Oh my god, commentator scourge.
And death for 5-5 there.
Yeah.
It looks like he's on PB pace though, because the Moon Kingdom split takes about 6 or 7 minutes. You can just pull out a good mech fight and then get a good moon split. He should PB. The 2D shortcut there. Very hard jump. You have to, as possible, without falling off. Just skip about 2 seconds of the escape section. Oh, 5-5. Pokio's there. Yeah, as I said, the movement is not easy on this last section here.
Nice and easy.
I cannot tell if pace or not. That's a 107.46.
Yeah, no.
5-5 can make up for all these deaths. Very unfortunate. Does look like Samu will be PBing this run, which is pretty insane. Stream seems to be frozen. Okay, good. We're back.
That's a PB.
Finish for the 107.39. That is a PB for Samura1man. Very nice. Samu on his PB.
I just will drag him in there. Hello.
Hello?
Oh, hey Samu. Yeah, congrats on your PB. That was a pretty insane run. I did not think you would be able to pull out a PB, considering what your PB was before this run.
I'm actually surprised how Bowser1man just saved the run. Gave me a PP.
Yeah, were you, like, expecting the PB at all during this race?
During Lost Kingdom, I was like, there's small chance, but I wasn't thinking of it at all. Then it just happened.
5-5 struggling a bit with the Mecha Brutal. That's pretty crazy that you did PB, because like very top runners PB, especially in a no reset run, is very rare. What went the worst of the entire run? Like, what could easily be improved? He's not responding right now. Struggling with the mecha fight. Just hope he makes up for it. Nice to see both of these runners PB. Samu either deafened us or muted himself because he did not respond.
Respond to what?
I don't think it
Oh.
heard you.
Yeah, I asked you what could be improved on the most from this run. What went wrong?
Metro, the whole was just... I bonked there and that lost me so much time. Then Luncheon was also not the greatest, and Sand. All those together just cost so much time to me.
Fi-Fi. Yeah, very good ending to his run, unfortunately. Of this race, Fi-Fi was actually with you, Samu. Like, he wasn't that far behind up until Wooded, I think. Pretty good, but unfortunately he did choke on Bowser's Kingdom.
That's unfortunate.
Hmm. Just needs to take it nice and easy.
Yeah, he just needs to take it a bit slower now. Because I just assume he wants to get the run finished.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Third hit now. Looks like he's going to be hitting top or third now instead of Rango. A new birdless strat for the mech fight, where you do a backflip as soon as it starts and you go up on the side of its leg, but it is much harder than the strat that you saw Samu and Fi-Fi do.
How much faster?
I think it's like 3 seconds faster. Bonk on purpose when doing the older strat. A bonkless start to the fight, so it does save quite a bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
Finishing up the brutal fight, now he's going to be making his way over to the moon. Thank you for playing. To have that at the end of the credits in a Mario game. Only since this is any percent, we don't do any post-game stuff, so unless Samu just wants to mess around, you won't be seeing any Mushroom Kingdom gameplay. His 124 moons, and he will be going up to the moon. We'll be showing off the Mushroom Kingdom a bit, which is cool because it is basically just a giant throwback to SM64. Yeah, the time stop glitch here. The Goombas.
I have actually never done it, but alright.
It's not too hard. Oh, he's gonna do Koopa free running. Expect a world record out of this. Koopa races are very, very optimized. Like, if you want to get a record in these, you basically have to be frame perfect with your movement.
So
On moon skip here.
Yeah.
Hopefully he gets it first try. We're getting a 13 flat Mushroom Kingdom free running. Better than my PB by like 0.2.
He's going left too early, I think. There we go. Oh.
Wi-Fi. Does look like
there we
this
go.
will be it. Yes, he does get it. Okay. A shame to see runners struggle on that skip because then it will killing runs. Now he's going over to the final Bowser fight and the escape. Dog a bit. This dog is because if he finds anything, he will slow down and just spot and sniff for it like a day. Good start to the Bowser fight.
Yeah.
Seems to be looking for the life up part here, which is basically the key to this time stop glitch that we were talking about.
FireDragon getting the second hat as well.
Ah. Temu having a bit too much fun with the dog there. To perform the glitch, you need to get a stack of Goombas. You can do it with one Goomba, but it's much easier with a stack because it's easier to capture them. To capture the stack of Goombas at the same time, you grab the life up heart. Time. Basically, everything will be frozen, and you can't do anything. Basically just puts you in an infinite state where you can't pause. Soft locks your game.
And FireDragon finishing up Bowser there. No problems.
If you do 2D shortcut, I would say skip. Samura1man. He's on sub 120 pace at least, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
Samu can get the glitch. That's time stop for you. Happy is pretty much just off 5-5.
He tried to do it, but the blocks
Looked like he knew what to do there. Block under him, but not the one on top. It's time stop glitch. Nothing works. You can't enter loading zones, and when you throw Cappy, he gets frozen in place. Dude, you pretty much just can't do anything. You pull it off, but then it just gets like, why am I doing this? Entering 2D again. Hopefully he doesn't die this time.
Oh no.
Dies again. Samu's done. Enter his game to get rid of time stop. You pretty much have to close out of the game, or else you'll just be soft locked.
Missing the jump there. See if he can put it together now. Nice.
There we go. Now we just have to hope he doesn't die on this part.
Yeah.
Unless he falls in the infamous hole in this anime sequence, he should be good to go. The invisible cap, which is basically invisible cap with a huge buff. You actually cannot see Mario with this one. Alright, Fi finishing up now. So he's going to be getting a 121. Not horrible for a race, but unfortunately he did choke a lot in the end game, so for him, knowing his skill and potential for this game. G to both. We'll see if we can get Fi in here. Still waiting on a response. If he doesn't, like, a couple minutes, then we'll just go off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
GG
another
to
race coming up in
Just
2 minutes.
follow both of them. Their Twitch names are as they are on the screen, FireDragon and Samura1man with a 1. Very good runner of this game, and Fi as well is a pretty good runner, but he also does other speedruns like Mario Sunshine and Luigi's Mansion. Fi will be responding, so off. Thanks for watching this race, guys. Looks like we will be having another race after this one.
Over at Speed Gaming 3, seems like.
On Speed
Unless
Gaming
they
3.
move it.
So, another race.
Yeah.
See ya, peeps.